Not every week is a good week living in Japan, and sometimes we've got to take the good and the bad together. So I've had a couple of issues during the week and I'm trying to fix them up in this video. We also had some torrential rain which destroyed some of my garden, and I'll show you all of that later. And I'm also taking some preventative measures because it's that time of year where we've got to watch out for bugs. Natsumi also found an excellent co-working space that we went to check out, and I'm going to show you some of the techniques I use to continue my studies of Japanese, because even though I'm a Japanese teacher, learning Japanese never stops, especially if you're not a native speaker. So I'm going to show you the technique I use, so stick around to the end of the video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Chani and I'm a middle-aged Australian who's moved to Japan, and I'm actually in Wakayama. Today I'm headed to the dump. Yes, you heard it, I'm off to the dump, and it's a really scenic drive to the dump. I love it. Look at all the blue ocean. It's making me feel a lot better about the fact I found mold in my mattress. Yes, it is my fault because I had a board down underneath the mattress and I shockingly went to wash the sheets only to find there was a little bit of mold growing in my mattress. There's no way I can stand for that. Health is way too important. The mattress cost me $30 at Conan, so I'm throwing it in the dump and I'm going to buy a better mattress. And I'm also going to take the board out from under my slats in my bed, which really wasn't necessary because the mattresses here are self-supporting. So I'm looking at a better quality mattress this time, and this one is on sale, which is fantastic. Lucky for me, I don't start work until 1 p.m. today, so I've got enough time to muck around and get this bed issue sorted once and for all. Every couple of weeks I've been lifting the mattress up, just checking there was no mold between the board and the mattress. But somehow it happened in the span of just 2 weeks. Amazing. Of course, my trusty helper Millie is following me around the house just like she does. So as you know, my main bedroom is actually tatami mats, and I put carpet down there, and I built a platform. It's just to raise up the bed off the ground. Now I did want to still sleep on a futon, but I just wasn't comfortable sleeping on the ground. I wanted to be up off the ground. So I have this platform and I made the slats especially wide enough so that there were no issues with mold, because mold and humidity is a big thing in Japan. And on top of these slats, I actually had some board down, and then I'd put the mattress down on that. And that's the error of my ways, because what I needed to do was put the mattress directly on the slats just to make sure there was enough airflow. But I will be continuing to check this a lot. This is my second year in the house and the first time I've ever found mold. So I might have had a bit more humidity by leaving the window open, especially when we'd had a little bit of rain the other day. Everything else I'd had out in the sun on the line, including Millie's mattress, which is totally fine. There was nothing wrong with it because nobody's sleeping on it, so it wasn't generating any heat, just the heat from Millie. My new mattress is definitely a lot firmer than the other one. So it is a beautiful sunny day today, even though we've had a bit of erratic weather, and it is starting to fine up as temperatures rising now. So I always put my futon out on the veranda in the sun in the morning, and then I pull it in just before I go to work, because also you don't want it outside in the sun too long because of the humidity. So it's sort of a double-edged sword. So I just put it out enough to get a bit of sun and give it a good pat down just to shake it out and then bring it back in. So this is basically a futon as if I was sleeping on tatami mats, but I'm just sleeping on top of a firm mattress on a platform. Even though it's really, really firm to sleep on, I've adjusted to it so well, and it's actually felt so good for my back having a really hard bed to sleep on. So I'm not complaining. I really like this setup. The next thing I've been really worried about is Millie and taking her for walks outside. So as you know, I've taken Millie camping. We went on the Shikoku pilgrimage together, which she absolutely loved. and I've been training her to walk around the neighborhood. And as you can see, she's just getting so good at walking on the lead, not complaining, not stopping too much, and just keep going. But with all of this walking outside, I went to talk to the vet because I was a bit worried she might pick up some bugs. When I say bugs, I mean like fleas, ticks, worms, things like that. And the vet said yes, even though she's an indoor cat, I have been taking her outside. So it's best that we look after her with some tick, flea and worming treatment, just as if she was an outdoor cat. So I've got a special bit of medicine to give to her today. Of course, I'm a little bit nervous about how to apply this medicine because I've never done it before. The vet talked me through it. He gave me this little comb, which he said might be helpful, particularly because Millie has really thick cotton wool type fur. And I have to use this syringe, and I've got to aim to get it on her skin. Millie has a strong mind of her own, and she can be quite stubborn at times. So I'm going to have to use bribery to make sure this goes to plan. And she doesn't always like getting her fur brushed unless she's in the mood for it. So I think this little trick is working really well. I couldn't believe actually how much stuff was in this syringe. It was really drenching the back of her neck. And I was very careful to make sure it only got on her skin. So now is the season for all of these bugs to come out, so it's a good time that I've started her now, and I need to keep her on a regular schedule, just particularly over the summer months. The vet gave me this calendar and a set of stickers, and I can just mark on when she last had her medicine, and then I just need to put it on the fridge and keep track for the next lot that's due. Now, an awesome person in the comments told me about this product, and they said I had to buy this particular product to protect my house. Thank you so much. And if it wasn't for you being so persistent in sending me the photos, I wouldn't have had a clue which one to buy. This one is perfect. Now, I have 2 rooms that have tatami mats. So this little needle gets shoved into the tatami mats, and you spray it for 3 seconds. And it protects your tatami mats from the dreaded Dunny bug, which is very common in Japan in summer, especially around this time of year. Thank you so much for helping me with your tips on how to survive an older house in Japan. Now, speaking about surviving, wow, it's the weekend, and boy, did it come down. Started in the middle of the night, and it heavily rained all night, and we've woken up this morning to not only heavy rain, it's really cyclonic strong winds as well. It almost feels like we're in the middle of a typhoon. The winds were so strong. Millie's so used to her normal routine of going outside in the morning that as soon as I opened the door to have a look, she just ran outside.
Come inside. Come inside, it's raining.
Millie was stuck for a minute, not knowing what she wanted to do, out with the rain or in where it's dry. Yep, in the end she decided she'll stay dry with me. It's the first time in ages that I've had a Saturday with no real plans. So now that it's raining, I think Millie and I are just going to hang out in the house and do housey things. I'm trying to read a Japanese novel. I'm trying to increase my reading skills in Japanese. So I'm reading Harry Potter. I chose this one because it's a story that I'm familiar with. So even if I don't know every single word in the book, at least I can follow on and I don't have to stop and look up words as I go. I definitely stayed in my pajamas till around midday on this day. I drank multiple cups of coffee, and we pretty much just snuggled on the lounge all morning, waiting for the big storm to pass over. Sometimes it's just really nice to have a day at home and not have to go anywhere or do anything or see anyone. They're some of my favorite days where I just hibernate inside with nothing to do. Around 2 o'clock, I did get an Amazon delivery. It was something I'd ordered a couple of days ago. I have been doing a lot more cooking recently, and I just felt like I needed an island bench in the middle of my kitchen. Now, of course, I really wanted a nice timber block chopping board style island bench, but my kitchen space is just too small. And all of the ones that I was looking at were really large. And I also wanted one that could fold away because I don't always want an island bench in the middle of my kitchen. So this one is the best of both worlds. It's on caster wheels so I can roll it around. I can lock the wheels in place. And it can also flat pack down and fit down the side of my fridge. This is really going to make my life a little bit easier, and it's also going to be a lot easier to film the process now because I won't have my back to the light all the time. Now it has finally stopped raining and I need to go out into the garden and see what's going on out there. The winds were cyclonic and unfortunately a lot of my cauliflower has keeled right over. That's how strong the winds were. I hope I can save these cauliflower. I wonder what the farmers do in this situation. It must be really tough to be a farmer when you have bad weather. It's the next day now and the weather has finally fined up. I'm taking my favorite Millie study bag with me. You can get it at chanijapan.com because we are off to check out a co-working space here in Wakayama. So I'm here with my friend Natsumi and we've both got a few things that we want to do. My thing is studying Japanese because even though I am a qualified Japanese teacher, I always keep up my study. It's something I've done for years. And we're checking out this place called Rico Guest House or Guest House Rico here in Wakayama. It's a place that you can actually stay. It's sort of like a backpackers or guest house vibe, but they also have an excellent co-working space. For as little as 500 yen, you can sit here and help yourself to as much coffee as you like. There's even a really cute little birdie as their mascot. I think it's a zebra finch. Very, very cute. And it was talkative. First things first, I definitely need a coffee, and this place provides coffee beans that you can grind down and make yourself a lovely drip coffee. So we are wasting no time using the facilities here, and what I can say is this is a really chill, cool place. Everything in the fridge just says free, help yourself. It's a really nice vibe, and I'm guessing that a lot of people just contribute to all the different things that are available here. It has a homely, very welcoming atmosphere, and it's right in a really cool part of town. It's right near that bagel place that I showed you in last week's video called Kobato. So it's in a really sort of hip, upcoming, trendy location. Now we've made our coffee, it's time to get serious, and we've both agreed that we're going to spend a couple of hours just getting our stuff done. We've come here fairly early in the morning, so there aren't any people here. It's the perfect environment to really focus on my studies. When I was in Australia, I used to study Japanese at least once a day, and that was because I was a Japanese teacher and I needed to also be learning to know what it felt like from a student's point of view. And nothing has changed for me except that I'm in a much better environment for learning Japanese because I can hear it all around me. And I find that my vocabulary is increasing every day just by the absorption method. But what I do to study is I use an iPad, I take a picture from my book, and then I go through using GoodNotes. So I embed the picture into GoodNotes, and then I write on top of the picture all of the different notes. Now this saves me writing inside my book, and it means I can study the same page as many times as I need without having to rub anything out. So I can take as many photos of the same page, write down my notes, and I find it just sticks a lot better when I do it this way. So quite often I will do the same page 3 times. By the 3rd time, I really know what's going on in that page, and it has stuck into my memory. I guess you can call it a bit of brain training because the more you do it, the more it sticks. If you want me to make a more detailed video about exactly how I study and what I use to study, let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to make that video for you. And also, of course, if you want to learn Japanese, I have some basic Japanese courses on my website, www.chanijapan.com. Thanks so much for watching this video today. I do really appreciate you being here with me for all the ups and the downs. It was a bit of a down week, but I'm hoping next week is going to be more of an up week. See you again next week. Bye.